I want y'all to go ahead. I wanted y'all to show y'all this real quick, and I'm gonna come back with my commentary on about what I'm talking about.
So recently I got social media's panties in the bunch because I did braids to my hair. This is so stupid, I can't believe I'm talking about it, and I believe this shouldn't turn out to be a race thing. But this is what happened. I did my braids and I called them the Cocoa Swoop. I name all my styles that I do to myself. These are called the Cocoa Swoop. The braids before were called the Bo Derek braids. And it's a Cocoism. I've always done it. Why can't we all rename hairstyles or braids? That sounds so stupid. Why is everybody claiming something they shouldn't? I know braids have been around for thousands of years. Don't you think I know that? Should be able to wear a pineapple on my head and call...
Okay, I'm sorry, but I have to interrupt on this. I said I was going to let this video come back with my commentary, but y'all, if y'all followed me for a long time, y'all know I got to go ahead and analyze things. She says she known braids to be around for thousands of years, and she doesn't understand why people are upset. Well, think about this. This is why the title of my video is, cultural inappropriation is real. Coco, that's the thing you don't understand. Now you on here getting all upset. You trying to play the victim. Typical white woman frailty response, because you up here claiming something that don't belong to you, and you saying that why does people always gonna get upset about something that they claim or whatever like this. Excuse me 1 second. Alright, sorry about that, people. Let me continue. Let me finish.
Oh, the pineapple Cocoa Wop. I don't know. You see where I'm going with this? Why is everybody hating? Let me add to what I was saying. People rename hairstyles all day long. Look, Beyonce. Beyonce, she does this hairstyle, and now it's the lemonade. But no one's going to get mad at her, right?
First thing first, number one, why you bring up Beyonce? Because the difference is, look, Beyonce isn't white, number one. Number two, I'm pretty damn sure she doesn't, that style she wore during her Lemonade video, I'm pretty damn sure she doesn't walk around here calling her hairstyle Lemonade. Or the Cocoa Swirl or Swoop or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Shit, man, you can miss me with that. Nice try, but no pass here.
So, at the end of the day, this shouldn't be a race war. This should be a human thing. Right? Everybody should be able to do it. It's a human thing. Give that a shot. Not a race war. There's nothing to...
Let me break the bubble to you. This is... Ooh, I just want to jump in this. It's already a race war. And you saying that everybody should be able to do it? No, everybody shouldn't be able to do it. That's just like every white person should walk up to a black person and call them a nigga. And then again, on top of that, I guarantee you're going to have some idiot in the comment section going to get out there and say, well, black people call each other nigga all day. I'm saying like that. That's totally irrelevant. But let me continue with that.
Do with race. But this just goes to show you that no one reads the captions underneath pictures. Otherwise, you would understand that this is not an issue. It's something that I do. It's a Cocoism. Okay? Now, to the love out there, thank you, thank you, thank you. I see it. I see all the comments. Power to you guys, because I get this much love and that much hate. But sometimes just gotta come in and say something about it, because it's so disgusting that we should be like loving each other instead of hating on each other because of a hairstyle. Get over it.
All right. Back to this crazy gal. First thing first, let me just jump off in this real quick. This is why I titled this video, the cultural inappropriation is real. She couldn't even tell you the true historic reason, the hairstyle, and where it come from. Coco is no different from any of these other culture vultures, you know. And it just goes to show you that I was on the phone with my homeboy. I was calling him, telling him about this, about doing this video. And even he said that, you know, that when it comes down to like white people, they have like a hold on a second. Okay, they have like a mental deficiency per se. They have like a mental deficiency, you know, because all across the world they have gone and pillage, plunder, loot, rape, thief, and murder. Because see, first thing first, white people ain't nothing but thieves, period. They ain't nothing but thieves, period. The Caucasoids ain't nothing but thieves, period. And Coco is no different, you know. And see, this thing like this, you know, first thing when she came on the scene, guys was saying like, damn, you know, look at fine like this. I mean, I seen it even back then when they used to come down here. When they came down here on South Beach or whatever like that. And let me tell you something. Here in Miami, you got a lot of Caucasian women that are quote unquote have enhanced figures and not natural. Okay, Coco's no different. She is no different, because the cultural inappropriation is like this. They want to steal everything from us, from the hairstyles, the way we dress, the way we talk, the swag, the confidence, the music that we listen to, the type of cars we drive, you know, we like to drive or whatever. Now I can show you a lot more when it just ain't here. I could show you a whole lot more. Let me show you something. Now for all my wrestling aficionados, you know, now I seen Irv Griffin's video and he mentioned about Bray Wyatt, Brooksville, Florida residence. Yes, you know, this is Mike Rotunda's son, you know, WWE superstar, former SmackDown Tag Champion and former WWE World Heavyweight Champion, also known as the Eater of Bray Wyatt, known as the Eater of Worlds, you know. Now, when Bray Wyatt came on the scene, he had the straight spaghetti hair and all this. Now, you look at him nowadays, he's sporting locks. And notice I say locks, not dreadlocks, because see, there's nothing dreadful about locks. Take it from somebody who proudly had them in the early 2000s, mid and late 2000s. I sported mine with pride, man. You know, because the thing about it, he's no different. Now, does I'm saying, getting out here saying that Bray Wyatt is a racist? I don't know. Could be. He's from Brooksville. Brooksville, in case anybody know what Brooksville at, that's right there, not too far between Immokalee, where Edrin James is from, and throughout the west coast of Florida, like Punta Gorda, Belgrade, and Naples and stuff like that. Brooksville sits right there. I could tell you a story that happened in Brooksville concerning one, a good friend of mine's. May he rest in peace. I mean, may he rise in power. Former UM standout, Brooksville, Florida resident, former Philadelphia Eagle, the great Jerome Brown. You know, a story that happened during the off season. He was home in Brooksville, and the Ku Klux Klan came through there. This happened like in the 90s, y'all. The whole rally there. You know, Jerome Brown was the type, man. This is why I say Jerome Brown, one of the realest cats that ever lived. So he shut down that whole Klan rally how he did that? He had his car, had one of his cars, and he had you know how here in Miami we always putting the 6x9s in or whatever like that, or the 12-inch, 15-inch speakers in our trunks and all that. And he was blasting, I don't know what music he was blasting that day, but it was so loud blasting out his car that he basically drowned out the Klan rally when the Grand Dragon started speaking and talking shit. And they chased the Klan up out of Brooksville. They chased the Klan up out of there. That's just a little story I recall when I hear Brooksville and Belle Glade, which is where Bray Wyatt is from. You know. And yes, I know about the little story of him, Bray Wyatt, little romance with the WWE ring announcer on Raw. I know about that, okay? So, another one I could easily show you, besides with Bray Wyatt. Let me see if I can pull this up. No, that's not it. No. What's this? No. All right. Now, this is Christina Aguilera. This was back like early 2000s, late 90s, somewhere around there. If I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, leave a comment in the section. You know, I think who she was on, what show she was on, the O'Brien dude, you know, and he said that what Christina Aguilera wear, that these are cornrows. Again, proving my point that white people have mental deficiencies, but that's what happens when you're dealing with Caucasoids. Caucasians have a 5-ounce brain anyway, so, but they claim that they're smarter than us and stuff. Anybody could look at that and tell those ain't cornrows. Cornrows would be something like what Colin Kaepernick has. have. You know. But the cultural inappropriation, and she tried to get out here and try to not want to play the victim and stuff like that, talking about a race war. Look, it's already a race war going on right now. It's already going on right now. But this is the thing. See, so-called white people, they can't help who they are when they do stuff like this. And the fact of the matter that she didn't give no acknowledgement, hello, to the creator. Only thing your ass can get out there and say that no braids have been around for thousands of years. But you can't even say that it was black people the ones who been doing it. See, this is why Bo Derek is set apart. Don't even mention Bo Derek out the name out your mouth, girl. Bo Derek, when she did her braids in the movie 10 in 1979, let me see if I could bring it up. When she did that, that's the iconic picture right there. Did her braids with the beads in it and stuff. That was the Bo Derek look. She said she got that idea from the women the brothers and sisters in the motherland. And her husband even said that she even acknowledged them. That's why Bo Derek, one of the few Caucasians, she never threw us under the bus. She wore this same hairstyle in the movie 10. This is the iconic picture that when I was a kid growing up, this is what I saw. And also Tarzan of the Apes that she wore as well. A lot of people don't realize that. And she acknowledged that. It's the same thing just as with Rosie Perez. Rosie Perez, she said she acknowledged the black community. It was black people the one that got her career started. Okay? Rosie Perez always said, she said she wouldn't be where that if not for Spike Lee, if not for Keenan Ivory Wayans, I'm sorry, I'm butchering the brother's name up like that, and in Living Color, okay? And that was more evidence when she was on The View at that time, and she defended former First Lady Michelle Obama. tell you something. Rosie Perez she always kept it 100. She always kept it 100. In quite contrast to the coon sitting next to a Raven Simone dumbass. But anyway, though, like with Coco, I'm gonna tell you something. You know, this is where, like, and you can't. And I've seen some people say, yeah, I agree. Ice-T should have pulled her to the side. I say, yeah, you may want to go ahead and rethink this. But also keep in mind, see, Ice-T has been domesticated, family. He has been domesticated, bro. You know, so, you know, ain't much he can say, because, like, you know, like I said, because at the end of the day, he just going to look out for Ice-T. And on top of that, not only that, he also laid down and procreated with her as well. So she basically, quote unquote, got him by the balls or whatever like that. And I'm pretty sure that, you know, Mr. Law and Order, you know, from your days 25 years ago, when he said that he could never play a cop, that he hate cops, but, you know, people grow up one day. Ain't much you can count on with Ice-T's situation. But the cultural appropriation is real, you know. Same way like it is, like with a lot of you hip-hop heads who talk about saying that Marshall Mathers, otherwise known as Eminem, is the greatest rapper alive. See, nothing but a culture vulture. And then he turns around and hijacks the legacy of Tupac and try and make a movie out of it to capitalize on them. No different than it was with Elvis Presley, another racist bastard, who basically became the so-called king of rock and roll, which we know that ain't true, because black people always, rock and roll came from us, because Elvis Presley, which is another culture vulture, had stole those moves by being backstage watching the moves of Otis Blackwell. That's where he learned, that's where he stole that from. The style, the dress, and all that stuff like that. And the song that which most white people know, that still these old rednecks be singing about, trying to sing about, you ain't nothing but a hound dog. Black woman wrote that. A black woman sung that at first. Big Mama. I forgot her real name though, but you can look it up. See, the thing, like I say, with these Caucasoids, if they see something, whether if, like for instance, if that person can run fast, okay, let's get them, and we can go ahead and exploit that and benefit off of that, of him or her running fast. They could jump high. If they could shoot that basketball, throw that football far. If they know how to cook, oh, we go ahead and get that, and you know, and exploit that. You know, plain and simple. Now, I know it's going to be some white people that's going to be mad when I'm saying the stuff like that. So what? Fuck y'all. Get mad. But you know it's true. Now, as I'm sitting up here saying that every Caucasoid is a racist, is that? No. But has every one of them benefited at the expense of black people's cultural culture and style? Yes. Absolutely. Even, especially the ones who say, oh, I'm not racist. Shoot, I got black friends. I grew up in a black neighborhood. I dated black men. I dated black women. My girlfriend was black. So and so. Da-da-da. I love listening to rap music and so and so. Again, buying to the perpetual stereotype. Now I see white guys who being like, I ain't talking about like biracial, mixed, nothing like that. That's different. They still black. I'm talking about typical Caucasoids now want to get out here when they go to these 70s parties. Notice how these white guys like to get the costumes and they like to get the afro wigs. You know? But they got a problem with Colin Kaepernick when he sports his afro, you know, because otherwise they wouldn't send a buck dancing bootlick Michael Vick coming out there saying, oh, well, you know, he just should go ahead and go clean cut. Massive, you know, you should go clean cut. Master Charlie Goodell would love you, boy, if you go ahead and clean your image up. But Michael Vick, you the one that's a convicted felon. You the one that had to come. You had to change your image. Colin Kaepernick ain't broke no laws. Colin Kaepernick ain't been in no incidents. He ain't even been. I haven't heard of him being so far haven't been in a fish fight. And he doing more like that. His image is stellar compared to yours. And it's just like I said on my breaking news video, and Tari Rain followed up on. Shout out to Tari Rain. Thank you for that, my brother. That shoot, your daddy ended up getting indicted for operating a drug ring, which he was selling was heroin. But you know what? I'm not even too mad about that, because most of his customers who were buying it looked like Coco. You know, the same thing was taking them out. According to the FBI 2015 crime in the U.S. crime stats, 72% of the people who use drug users and abusers happen to be white. So, Coco, what you need to do, you just need to go ahead and have several seats. Get you a long, tall glass. Have several seats and get you a long, tall glass of shut the fuck up. And Ice-T, yeah, I know this your woman at all, but she's completely out of line when it comes to this hairstyle. But me personally, from a personal standpoint, if she wants to go ahead and call it a Coco swoop or rock braids, personally, I really don't give a fuck. The only thing I do care about, motherfucker, pay homage to the people who started it off who set it off in the first place, and acknowledge where you got it from. That's why you will never be like Bo Derek, bitch.